Hello everybody. So I had a lot of videos where I was very disappointed with YouTube. So now let's just be happy and have a Merry Christmas and let's learn how to build a railway empire. The most peaceful and serene thing I do lately. Alright, so I'm just gonna pick free mode because essentially, I mean, you can play the campaign, but I think the free mode is the most enjoyable part, even though I like the story. It's just too bad that they don't have that much more going on. I guess it's a fairly short story, especially if you know how to play, you can beat it really easily. Alright, so I prefer using the manual pause mode because later on you might get into a situation where the game just gets really laggy because there's too many trains. And it always becomes laggy when you unpause after you've built after you've changed the tracks. So being able to unpause manually is better for that. And I'm going to choose hard AI level, so it still counts as hard mode, I guess. And you don't have to worry about the AI. The AI is really bad. I mean, the AI has the ability to be powerful.
The rest. Sometimes I think about.
I like the basic guy, I guess. The AI has the ability to be really powerful, but not if you block the AI, and you can easily block the AI.
Has been founded, your startup capital transferred, and your list of tasks created. But beware of your 3 opponents.
Yep, beware of your 3 opponents. Oh shit, it's not even paused. Wow. Right, yeah. So at first I paused it as much as possible, of course. So they've already built things, I guess. They're too stupid to build two cities together, which is weird, because that's the best thing you can do. What you want to do at first is you want to build as many... You want to connect as many cities to each other. You don't even have to worry about... I mean, you do want to supply them with goods, but at first... The way to gain more net worth is to connect as many cities as possible. And there's this... Okay, so you click on company and then you click on the last tab, and here you want to take out bonds. You want to always take out as much money in loans as you can. That's important. Yeah, it's definitely important because it's so easy to make money in this game once you have money. So you just want to build as many stations as you can. Alright, so we're gonna... Oh, and so every city can have 2 stations, which means that you want to build 2 stations so that the AI can't take over that city. And you want to build a station in every city. And ideally every station will become a big station with signaling control, I guess. Because that's really important. I'll get to that in the next part. But for now, you see, this is how big the station gets when it has signaling control. And you can upgrade the station to have signaling control. So you want to build the small station here, and you can see there's the station. And you can click upgrade, and it gets bigger and bigger. It costs $300. And there, it's big enough to where it can become a really big station with signaling control. And you definitely want to have that option, so let's just build it there again. Just keep in mind that we want... I don't think that one will work. Let's see. Gotta click 3 times. Oh, that one actually did work, but it's kind of close to the river there, so... I want to have it rotated this way. So there we go. And you want to have the 2 stations be a bit apart, so I don't build them right in the center of town. Well, I guess... No, you definitely don't want to build them in the center of town. Okay, so we're going to connect these 2 cities. So, a level 1 station is perfectly fine at first. And you'd be better off building 2 level 1 stations than building 1 level 2 station because it blocks the AI and it's cheaper. I, however, prefer to use a double track. which you get by building like this. Unfortunately, there's not a feature to build a double track right away, and then you have to tell it that it should be like this. Yeah, so basically there. I mean, it builds it like this, but then there's too much track here that isn't double, so the more of it is double, the better in this case. And then we want to put signaling. We want to put signals there, so it knows that it can only go this way. So now we set up a bunch of trains. I just set them up automatic, and because it's manual pause mode, they're not gonna move until I press space. Alright, I've got a train going in each direction. Actually, let's do another one just in case. It's probably not needed, but whatever. I didn't even look at these cities. What do we have here? Beer and meat. That's convenient and practical. So now they're gonna bring beer and meat to each other. If I unpause. There, loading beer. Loading really slowly. Oh, there we go, there's a wagon of beer. Oh, I set the game to 50% speed, which I don't know why you would ever not, because you can also just... You can click on fast forward anyway, so you want to have the base speed be half speed, so you have more time to do things. Oh look, it took 10 days to load this train. Alright, so there you go. That's a good track. So now it's a double track. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna... I wouldn't be doing this normally, but I'm gonna do it here so you can see what it looks like. I'm gonna save. Right, so I'm gonna let some time pass so you can see what happens with these. Wow, this is fast forward. Look how slow they move at first. You wanna get better locomotives than the first one right away. Okay, there we got meat, and there we got beer. And then this guy here is filling up with passengers and more beer. No mail, weirdly. I guess there's just so much beer that's needed. There'll be mail here too next time. So there, they're gonna make me money. They already are gonna make me way more money than I spent. I spent 40k on each. 40k, is that right? Yeah, that's right. 40k on the stations, and well, I had 1.5 million, and now I spent, I don't know, like 300. But they're gonna make that money back in a few years, so it's good. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you them, I guess. Here we go. What is that one waiting for? Red? Oh. Wow, okay, great tutorial. I already messed up. Okay, so what you want to do here is press Control, and then it shows you these signals that it's gonna autoplace. After you've set the direction, you set the direction by placing a signal and then pressing Shift on it, and then it becomes a red signal. That means it sets the direction. If I flip the red signal, then we got a red signal pointing in each direction, and the track is unavailable. So you want to not do that. You want to have one red signal on each track, I guess. And I prefer them to go on the right side, like cars would, unless you're in Britain. Okay, so here we go. Now that I've set these signals, he will actually be able to move. See, because now you can go to this signal. Previously, with no signals, he knew that there was one train on this track and he couldn't move. But now there's still this train on the track, but because of the signal, he can move up to the signal. I guess the track has been cut to this part. So there you go. I guess I already messed up, but this is how you fix it. Now he can move, see? And then this train moves in. And it's easy in this game to have it so that your trains get stuck. And you definitely want to avoid that. So using double tracks with signals and lots of small signals is how you avoid them from getting stuck. And here we go. First money is unload. That's 16k. That's right. Good money. So the trains cost money, the track cost money, and the station cost money. And well, now they make infinite money, but they still have upkeep. Do we see how much... Ah, we don't see how much was spent yet. That's too bad. I guess I need to fast forward some more. And wait for it to complete another track. Normally you don't want to look here at your first trains, because you want to be building more trains. There we got mail cars, passenger cars, and another beer car. And the shittiest locomotive of all time. Because it's the first one. And you can hire, I guess, train personnel, which you want to do, but you don't want to auto-assign it. Train personnel is mostly good for express lines, and these are just regular lines for now. Let me spectate the train, there we go. Now it's waiting for that train. Oh, great. Oh, here we go. It didn't fill up fully, so I guess we're lucky it doesn't have to wait that long. How much money are we making this time? Less. I don't know, it depends on many things. If the train moves faster, it makes more money from passengers. I guess it's a slow old train, so it won't make that much money, but it's still quite... I mean, it's also really cheap, the locomotive, so that way it's more worth it than it would be. Oh, and you can move your mouse on the track and see how well used it is. So that this train station is 70% used on its one track. You can upgrade it to have more tracks, but that has all kinds of further challenges that we'll get into later. Alright, so there we go. Tracks, basic tracks are set up. Now the AI has already expanded as well. Normally I would have like 4 cities by now, but I fast forwarded it, so that's why I'm slow. Okay, let's reload that, I guess. Whatever. Nah, let's not reload, whatever. I'll restart and do it better. No, never mind, I'll do it now. Actually, I guess I'll show you this so you can see it again. Alright, first thing you do is pause. As soon as it lets me, here we go.
3 competitors in this region, so it's not going to be easy.
He talks
Don't
again.
waste any time and stick to your list of tasks.
Don't waste any time indeed. Alright. There. Building the train tracks. Gonna make sure that there's enough space here to add signaling control later, even though that's gonna be annoying to do because the demolition isn't fast in this game. We don't want this. We don't want it to... It's cheaper if it doesn't disturb the ground as much, even though it'd be faster if it's just a straight line. So I prefer, well, especially at first. And 2%, I don't know what, wow, I don't know the word. 2% height difference. I mean curvature, I guess, up and down. Any curvature. You don't want to have as little as possible, that way it has... it's faster the less curvature, obviously. But then again, well, it's cheaper to make it be slightly bumpy, because it doesn't have to dig up all of the earth, I guess. Alright, here we go. Auto signaling control, and I mean auto signaling with control. There, one. Here, duplicate, clone the train, and one from the other side. And that'll make me money. And then, so what we... Oh, shit. Okay, so this is one segment of track, and you don't want to disturb that one segment of track. And I guess I'm not... Okay, I could make a fork here, but I'm... Oh, no, I'll make a fork. No. Okay, I'm gonna make a second train station, just because it's... As I said, it's easier than making a new train... Making a level 2 train station. No, it's not easier, it's just cheaper, and it blocks the AI, so there you go. Right, here we go. It already wants to dig into the ground deep again, but let's have it not do that. Oh wow, now it tries to build a bridge, which is very expensive. The closer to the ground, the cheaper, obviously. What's that there? Huh. It doesn't usually look like that. Not that it matters. Weird. Whatever. Right, there we go. Building the same thing again. Now these are two unconnected train stations at the moment, which means that there will be absolutely no conflict between these trains. But the more train stations you connect to each other, the more difficult it'll be to stop trains from being in each other's way. There, showing you the same thing again. And don't forget to make sure they're driving on the right side and adding signals automatically. Alright, here we go. Now we got these cities connected with each other with 3 trains. I didn't click right. There we go. And we want to make sure they can connect with each other too, so let's... Okay, now this is a little bit hard because you need to make sure that both tracks can connect in both directions. So I'm gonna... See, it's red here, even though it should be automatically able to do this. So you're gonna tell it to specifically cross from here to here. That bridge is too high. And do it like this. See, this is the kind of connection you want to build. The smaller this part here is, the better, because this part here is going to be a bottleneck. You want to make sure it's as little bottleneck as possible. Alright, so here we go. And you just double it up once you've done it like that. So now this is as good as a fork can be. Now the signals here are going to be a problem, because this signal here, if the train stops here, then he will block the bottleneck. So you don't want a signal there ever. You want to have them stop in front of the fork but not on the fork. You can have as many as you want behind each other. You just want to make sure that there's nothing here that would make them stop on the fork. Oh, and you want to have auto signals everywhere. And ideally, you want to make sure that each piece of track is at least as long as it takes to have one auto signal there. So the whole train could rest here on this track in both directions. You could even have it like this, so it could potentially have a locomotive and a train. I mean, a train being just a locomotive in that case. Right, so here we go. Make sure that they stop right before the fork each time. So now I'm going to add another train here. Now we don't need as many trains here because... Wait, don't we? Oh, I guess we don't. Because they already... Well... Never mind. They both have beer and... Oh, I guess I didn't need to add as many trains from these two stations to each other. If we look, these two trains are not going to have a lot of... They're not going to have a lot of freight because both of these towns produce beer, so they don't bring beer and meat because there's only beer. But in this case, they're going to... Well, this town's already being supplied with beer, so there's already less traffic here. But the towns will grow soon, and then they'll want more traffic anyways. Alright, let's save this. January 1st. Now, I set up all this stuff on just the first day without having paused it yet, and I still have 700. Let's see how it goes. Alright, here we go. Here's the first beer shipment. See, this one's just passengers, because there's no possibility for him to bring beer or meat, because they both supply it with beer and not meat. In this case, yeah, we already saw here the meat wagon. Unfortunately, meat doesn't really look very distinct, but I guess whatever. You got used to guessing what's in them, I guess, at some point. At first, the passengers are 2 cars instead of 1. I mean, each passenger station in 2 cars. Don't know why, but I guess it's a fun fact. Alright, here, let's unpause this. These trains aren't getting stuck, which is good. They can't get started too hard. See, I should have made that one. That one doesn't have much mileage, I guess. It doesn't get much use. I made 2 trains go here because I didn't realize they both had beer. Right. Anyways, here we go. This one's bringing beer to this city, but not much beer because there's already beer that's on its way to this city. It already accounts for that, I guess. So if you accidentally bring a beer shipment in from too far away, it won't be able to bring another beer shipment in from closer because it's waiting for that far away shipment to arrive. Alright, here we go. It's gonna go. All the trains are gonna make me money. I'm gonna make a lot more money now because I have a lot more trains than on last try. But we're gonna make it even more. I guess we're gonna bring in some goods as well, probably. I'm not sure. Now, eventually it's gonna run out of beer and meat because I'm not supplying it with cattle and grain. Yeah, you make beer out of grain in this game and meat out of cattle, of course. Now, there's no cattle around. Oh yeah, here. Check this out. This tab here is very important. Flow of goods. Now it's automatically being supplied with grain, but not a lot. So if I build a train there, it'd be better because it'll be bringing more grain. This city needs more grain because it produces beer. This city doesn't need a lot of grain, so it's satisfied with just the coach. The coach is bringing in the grain every once in a while. Oh, there's more grain here. That's good. Okay, let's look for cattle. Down here? Nah, way too far down. Oh, there's cattle, I guess. The cattle's next to the beer city and the grain's next to the meat city. Oh no. Wait, no, that's not right. Actually, it's perfect. Alright, good. Cattle's next to the meat. I could easily just build a station here to have it supply meat to the thing. But the problem is that this station here is already pretty busy. 120 usage. How many? 6 trains? How many trains do I have? 9 trains. So yeah. So each one of these cities that only have 1 station, they're pretty used up now because they both have 6 trains going to them. So this is why you'd want to upgrade a station eventually. So if I want to bring in the cattle to here, then I might want to upgrade the station. Or better yet, I might want to use a warehouse. But warehouses are expensive, so you don't want to use them too liberally at first. Until they make small warehouses. At the moment, there's only big warehouses, unfortunately. Alright, here we go. This is the part 1. Check back for part 2 to learn more about railway empires. Already seeing this city here has already got 2 stations, which means that the competitors will not be able to build any more stations. Now, if they weren't stupid, they'd be able to build warehouses still, because a city can have infinite warehouses, but for some reason they're well mannered enough that they don't build warehouses where you already have stations. I'm not even sure they build warehouses at all, actually. They might just be using train stations, the AI. So the way to beat the AI is to build as many stations in as many cities as possible. I've taken a small lead over the AI here, but if I had spent all my money, I would have taken a bigger lead. And the AI expands too, but they don't expand as fast, and they build very inefficient rails, if you look. See, there's too much track here that is alone. It's single, and he doubles up on most of the track. So if he hadn't been smart, he would have doubled up on the whole track. Well, in part 2, you'll find out how to make bigger stations that use more tracks. Here, this has only a small piece of bottleneck here, which is well, and the whole station, I guess. The whole station is used at 70%. So I'll have to upgrade them eventually, but at first it'd be better to just spread out to more cities before you upgrade your stations. So check out part 2 for more. There might be up to 10 parts, I don't know, but you'll learn all about this fascinating little game. It has some flaws, but on general I really like playing it. And you can see that the city is already happy with the goods I bring into it. And then that means... Actually, I'll explain that later. Alright, part 2!